Good afternoon, and welcome to Purdue University Northwest. Will those who are able to stand, please stand for the singing of our national anthem. Chancellor Keon, the convocation of Purdue University Northwest Second Commencement is assembled.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this commencement exercise, the culmination of Purdue Northwest student success, and indeed one of the proudest days in the lives of graduates and their families. For today's commencement, some of you have traveled from across town, others from across the world, as well as locations between. Today is a day of celebration and recognition, a day of applauding achievement, a day of proud reflection, and perhaps even shedding a tear or joy or two. And of course, this is the day you receive your cherished diplomas. Candidates, I applaud you on your hard work, determination, and sacrifice. Parents, grandparents, other family members, and friends, I also applaud your hard work, determination, and sacrifice. Graduation is not a celebration exclusive to those receiving diplomas. Before we continue the celebration, I invite our graduation candidates to offer their heartfelt, thankful applause for the support they received from parents, family, friends, and others who in various ways made this possible. Candidates? My lone instruction of the day is to ask that all in attendance be respectful as we read the names of the graduates, so that each of you will be able to hear the name of your graduate. Thank you. Several individuals whose leadership is vital to Purdue Northwest are seated in the platform. And as much as they will not be introduced later, I want to take this opportunity to introduce them now. As I do, I will ask them to stand and remain standing, and I would ask you to hold your applause until the entire group has been presented. Our Grand Marshal, Dr. Daniel Wilbur, Vice Chancellor for Administration and Finance, Mr. Steve Turner. Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management and Student Affairs, Dr. Carmen Panlilio. Vice Chancellor for Advancement and presenter of the candidates, Dr. Regina Biddings-Moreau. Vice Chancellor for Information Services, Mr. Tim Winders. Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Mr. Rick Costello. And our diploma marshals today will be Ms. Cheryl Arroyo and Ms. Jennifer Williams. Outstanding, dedicated faculty serve the students of Purdue University Northwest through teaching, research, and engagement. Our faculty enrich the lives of our students and further their success. For that, I invite the members of our hardworking faculty to stand and be recognized. Faculty? Hammond Mayor Thomas McDermott Jr. joins us this afternoon as our guest speaker. Tom is the 20th mayor of Hammond, the 5th largest city in the state. He was elected to his 4th consecutive term in 2015, making him the longest serving mayor in the history of the city of Hammond. As a young man, Tom joined the United States Navy and served 6 years as a nuclear submariner aboard the USS Hyman Rickover. After protecting his country during the Persian Gulf War, he returned to Hammond. After the Navy, Tom attended Purdue University Northwest, where he earned high honors in finance while working full-time. Law school took Tom to South Bend, where he attended the University of Notre Dame. There, Tom worked in the school legal aid office, providing legal services for less fortunate. After receiving his law degree, he returned to Hammond and opened a law practice. In 2005, Mayor McDermott was named Sycamore of the Wabash, the highest honor bestowed upon a civilian by the governor of Indiana. Mayor McDermott is credited with creating the award-winning Hammond College-Bound Scholarship Program, something he is very proud of. The program provides a full-ride scholarship to Hammond graduating seniors. This program has received national attention and has been awarded the U.S. Conference of Mayors City Liability Award in 2007 and in 2016. Tom McDermott is at heart a family man. He and his wife, Marissa, are raising 4 children, and Tom enjoys coaching his son's baseball team. Tom is a member of the St. John Bosco Parish and numerous boards and community organizations. Mayor McDermott brings to his office a combination of worldly experience and old-fashioned love for his roots. Together, these create a man in bringing positive change to Hammond without forgetting that he made this city great in the first place, its people. Please join me in welcoming Mayor McDermott to to the podium.
Thank you, everybody. I want to start off and say thank you, Chancellor Dion, to the distinguished deans and faculty and the staff of Purdue Northwest, and most importantly, to the graduates of the class of 2017. Let's give them a big round of applause, everybody. Congratulations. It's a great honor when you get asked to come back and speak at the university where you graduated from. So this is an important day for me. And I don't want to mess it up. So you really do a lot of thinking. I want to talk about something that's important to you, which is Purdue Northwest, and how it affected my life. Because I was sitting in your seat in 1996, wondering what was coming next. And Purdue helped shape where I am today. I would not be the mayor of Hammond. I would not be a law school graduate were not for Purdue Northwest. So that's what I'm going to tell you is my story and how Purdue helped me become the mayor of Hammond and where I am today. So as I said, Purdue played a major role in my life. December 1996, I was sitting right where you were, just graduated from Purdue, wondering where I was going to go next. I was a full-time student, and I was a full-time employee. I bet you there's a lot of people in here that fall in that category. I got out of the Navy, I had 2 kids. I didn't have a lot of options. Purdue accepted me as a student and let me go to night school while I worked full-time during the day. Something I'll never forget, the opportunities that Purdue gave to me. Eventually, I was accepted to the University of Notre Dame, and I tell you, I have Purdue to thank for that. However, the route I took to get to Purdue Northwest was a tortured one. Some would say, I bet you if you talk to a lot of my high school teachers, they would tell you there's no way this guy's going to graduate college. There's no way he's going to become a mayor. There's no way he's going to go to law school. And I tell you, Purdue helped that happen, you know. I grew up in a divorced household. My dad lived in Northwest Indiana. My mom lived in California. And I lived in both places. I had the good end of the deal, actually. I got to spend my winters in California and my summers in Northwest Indiana, so don't feel too sorry for me. When I was a student, a young student, I did really well in school. And then I got into high school. And you know, there's a lot of distractions in high school. And I wasn't the ideal high school student. I was distracted, I was unfocused, and I was undisciplined. I didn't have a lot of options when I graduated high school. Not a lot of college expressed interest in me, and if they did express interest in me, I wasn't ready to go. So I did the smartest thing I ever did in my life. I joined the United States Navy right out of high school. I joined a very hard program, Navy's nuclear power program. They didn't tell you when you sign up for a 6-year enlistment that this program has like a 65% rejection rate. And in the military, when you don't pass a school, they don't say, oh, don't worry about that 6 years. When you don't pass a school, they send you to the fleet with no job. And what that means in the Navy is literally chipping paint, working in the galley, things where the people didn't graduate from a school that you have to do, the labor. I found out in the Navy what motivated me for the first time. It was fear. I was scared. I was surrounded by smart people that were just as scared as I were. Everybody knew what the consequences were if you didn't pass this school. And let me tell you something. When I was in high school, I would have trouble making it to my morning classes. When I was in the Navy, we were doing 80 hours a week of academics. And it was hard training. Consequences were high. I was motivated. I was scared. I worked very hard. I graduated from Navy's elite nuclear power school, which is wonderful. Went off to the United States Navy. I was introduced to who Hyman G. Rickover was. I had no idea who this guy was. All I knew is there was a submarine named after him. What I learned when I got there was he was the father of the nuclear Navy, and we were on his namesake submarine. I was an electrical operator. I worked in the reactor plant. It was interesting work. I remember one day we were sitting overseas, and I looked around the engine room, the nuclear plant where we were starting up a nuclear reactor. I was 21. My boss was like 24. It was a bunch of 20-year-olds running a nuclear reactor. And the interesting thing about the United States Navy is I'm a big proponent of nuclear power. They've never had a nuclear accident. The plants are built perfectly. There's paranoia built into it. There's backups to the backups, and they have excellent training. Well, anyway, I was very proud of myself. I became qualified on the submarine. I got accepted to go to U.S. Navy Diver School, which was another scary situation. You know, it's really hard to graduate from this school. I was happy enough to graduate from that as well. And the interesting thing was, is the more I accomplish. I never really accomplished stuff when I was in school. I wasn't a spectacular student. We already discussed that. But graduating from nuclear power school, going to dive school, graduating from dive school, I started realizing things about myself. You could do things. If you put your mind to it, you could go to the hardest schools and graduate. If you put your mind to it, you could go to a thing like dive school, surrounded by Army Rangers and SEALs and Navy submariners. What the heck was I doing there? But I graduated because I wouldn't let myself fail. There's no way I was going back to my submarine with my tail tucked between my legs. I just pictured the things people would say to me, and it scared me. And fear motivates me. It's good to touch on what motivates you. For me, it's fear. Could be anything. But anyway, I had a 6-year enlistment in the Navy, and after about 3 years, I realized who the real Tom McDermott really was. Unfortunately for me, I still owed 3 years to the United States Navy. And we were an active submarine. We were out. I was on the submarine for 4 years. I bet you I was underwater for 2.5 out of the 4 years. And the frustrating thing about the Navy on a submarine is when you're out to sea, you're out to sea. There's no email, there's no text messages, there's no computers. You're just out to sea. You don't get to talk to your honey. You don't get to talk to your kids. I did have 2 kids by this point. And then the really frustrating part is when you get back into port, you work hard to get the submarine ready to go back out to sea again. So here I was, basically, you don't get to see your family and friends, and I was counting the days down. I had one goal in mind. There's one thing I wanted. The people I looked up to the most in the Navy were Navy officers. And I learned something. I didn't really know how important college was. I didn't really understand how important college was until I was in the Navy. And I looked around at a lot of my bosses. My bosses were non-college graduates. We were all enlisted. And they were my boss for one reason only. It was like a union. They were there longer than me. So they're your boss. They could be horrible leaders. They're your boss. Why? Because he's got 5 years on you, McDermott. And I realized, look at the officers, the ones we salute, the ones that are in charge are the ones that went to college and graduated. So I counted down my days. I actually did my first year of college on the submarine. And that's when Purdue Northwest entered my life. They accepted me as a student in the spring semester of 1994. I got out of the Navy early, something I'm eternally grateful to Purdue for. I got out like 3 months early so I could start that spring semester. And here I am 23 years later. I'm still affiliated with the school. I still work with the school on a daily basis, and I'm still just as proud of what they did for me as I was 23 years ago. But when I got to college, I attacked it. I loved college. I loved my courses. I loved doing homework. I loved taking tests. I loved the instructors. I loved going to school. It was so much better than being on a submarine, let me tell you. So much better. I've seen a couple of my professors here today. I want to recognize a couple of them, so I don't want to embarrass them. Dr. Pat Obie, who I love very much, and Ed Ferticella, 2 great gentlemen. They were great professors for me. Thank you very much. These guys changed my life. Loved the classes, loved everything. I was a different type of person. Totally changed student. I graduated with high GPA, honors from Purdue, and I was a student. I was getting ready to I wanted to go to law school. So where do I apply? I applied to a lot of them. Applied to Notre Dame. Got waitlisted. That was my dream school. I was literally ready to go to another college when 2 weeks before law school starts, I get the phone call from University of Notre Dame. And they say, you're accepted. You got to come down and sign up right now. And I did. And I started law school at the University of Notre Dame. And I tell you what, my dean pulls me in on the first day of law school, sits me down, says, McDermott, you're probably not going to make it through law school here. I'm like, what? This is not a way. First off, I'm in the dean's office on the first day of law school. Second day, he tells me I'm not going to make it through. He says, you're going to school with really special people here. They're going to work hard. You just got to be ready to attack it. What motivates me? Fear. I was scared, let me tell you. I always knew there was 2 different types of students, and I'm sure you guys realize this also. You got intellectually gifted students. Students that really don't have to work that hard. It just comes natural to them, right? They don't have to study. They just go to class, listen, and then they take the test and they get B's or A's, right? And then you also have the blue-collar students like me. I had to work super hard. I worked harder than intellectually gifted students, and I still got a B or an A. Well, when I went to the University of Notre Dame Law School, I met a third type of students. A different type of students. Geniuses with excellent work ethics. They were truly scary. I'm in Notre Dame, Saturday. This is when I realized I was out of my league. I go to Notre Dame on a Saturday. It's a football Saturday, okay? And I say, I'm going to go to law school real quick, and I'm going to go back out tailgating with my buddies, right? So I go into the law school on Notre Dame football Saturday, and there they were, about 15 of my classmates studying hard in the library. And it hit me. These people are working harder than me, and they're smarter than me. You shouldn't be out here, having a good time. Anyway, at the University of Notre Dame, I graduated with a guy that aced the LSAT. I've graduated with NFL football players, Hollywood actors, people that went to Ivy League schools. It was truly an experience that I'll never forget. I graduated with a 3.1 GPA, which was the highlight of my life, although the highlight at University of Notre Dame was, of course, meeting my beautiful wife, Marissa. I met her on the first day of school, so thankfully I was accepted there. Then I came back to Purdue. I moved to Hammond, Indiana. A lot of my friends are graduating from Notre Dame. They're going to San Francisco. They're going to Chicago, New York. They're like, hey, where are you going, McDermott's? Because I was in McDermott's at that point with my wife. We're going to Hammond. They're like, what? Hammond? Where's that? That's about an hour away. So I come back. I get a job teaching part-time at Purdue, and I'm teaching Management 354, which was the class that made me want to go to law school in the first place, which I love very much. Taught that. I ended up teaching history and political science for a number of years after that also. Started my own law firm, law office at Tom McDermott, real original name, I know. But I decided I'm going to run for public office at this point. Still teaching at Purdue, still got a law office on the side, then I'm like, I'm running for Mayor Hammond. Well, it was easier for me because my father had been the mayor of Hammond for 9 years, so the people knew the name there, but I worked hard. And I tell you, the mayor at the time had $300,000 in his campaign account, and when I turned in my first finance report, I had $3,000. We started working 2 years before Election Day, and it seemed like there was many days I came home and I said, I have no chance, what am I doing? I should just focus on my law practice, but we just kept plugging away. And we kept plugging away, and we kept knocking on doors, and we kept going to dinners, and we kept doing the things we had to do. And finally, about 2 weeks before Election Day, my opponent, the mayor, challenges me to a debate. And it made sense for him to challenge me to a debate. I mean, I'm a 33-year-old kid. I grew up in California. I literally have a couple years of residency in Hammond. He'd lived there his whole life. But I tell you, for me, I had to work so hard. I had to get ready. It was like I was going to the U.S. Supreme Court. This is what it was all about. And I don't think the mayor at that time realized how hungry I was and how much I needed this break. And I tell you, you would have thought I was getting ready to argue a case before the U.S. Supreme Court. I studied so hard. I was ready for every question, anything that could be brought to me. And I went to that debate, and I had the performance of a lifetime. I'll never forget it. My opponent was so confident he was going to crush me in that debate, he purchased 10 ads to run that debate full-time throughout the city of Hammond, even before he knew what was going to happen in the debate. I didn't have the money to air the debate on TV. He did. So he does it. We go into the debate. The debate turns out spectacular for me. Turns out to be a disaster for him, and they aired it 10 times between that date and Election Day. 10 times. I mean, literally, there's a few hundred people to watch the debate, and then the buzz gets out there. Did you see that debate? And then they would air it, like the Monday after. And then you'd hear more people. Then they aired it again on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, and on Friday. And by the time Election Day came near, I ended up winning my first race with 51% of the vote. The hugest accomplishment of my life. Way better in dive school, way better in power school, way better in law school, becoming the mayor of the city of Hammond. And I bring in a young team and did some great things. And Chancellor Keon was talking a little bit about the College Bound program. It's the best thing that I will ever do. It's why people get into public service. Why? To help people, of course. It's the best thing I'll ever do. We've sent thousands of students, many of them in this room right now. I think 94 of them in this Purdue Northwest class alone graduated on the College Bound Scholarship from the city of Hammond. I will never do a better thing in public office no matter what I do, other than help educate students and help sell homes in the city of Hammond. After all, that's what it's all about. I need to sell homes in Hammond, get a better educated populace, and make great things happen. Purdue Northwest and Mayor McDermott have an amazing relationship. Chancellor Keon and I talk regularly. We live across the street from each other, and we've done great things together. Look at the building we're standing in right now. Look at this. Beautiful. The Dworkin Center is an amazing accomplishment. Dowling Park, the fields that we have over there. A new bioscience building going in on the Hammond campus. The merger of former Purdue Calumet and former Purdue North Central into Purdue Northwest, one of the largest public institutions in Indiana. Purdue has changed a lot since I was a student here. We have dorms. We have thriving international exchange program. We have an excellent hospitality and tourism program, excellent nursing program, amazing engineering programs, something to be very proud of. There you have it, my life story, all in about 10 minutes. Story of a 26-year-old that was sitting in your seat, wondering the same things you're wondering, graduating from an amazing university. The story of a university, Purdue Northwest, that took that motivated student and opened doors for that student that never would have been opened before. A university that equipped me with the education I would need to graduate from one of the toughest law schools in the country. A university that would give me the confidence to become my own boss and to open my own business. A university that would give me the confidence to run for public office and to win. Anybody could run. Gave me the confidence to win. That's what this institution does. For me, it all started right here, right where you're sitting. Actually, not exactly. It was a much older building in Hammond, but anyway, same university. Started with the education I received right here at Purdue's Northwest campus. I can honestly say to you this, I would not be where I am today were it not for PNW. This university changed my life for the better. Allow this excellent education you received to do the same for you. Good luck to Purdue University Northwest class of 2017 graduates. Congratulations to you and to your families. Thank you very much.
You probably don't know this, but everybody up here in the faculty know that I love numbers. The college-bound program for the young people in Hammond has been amazing, with numerous individuals graduating from universities all over the state and all over the country. For us, we've had nearly 200 people graduate from Purdue Northwest because of College Bound. And currently, I think we have as many as 175 students enrolled because of the College Bound program. So for that and your wonderful words, thank you, Tom. For the introduction of academic degrees, I now invite Professor Daniel Wilbur, representing all faculty of Purdue University Northwest, to the podium.
The conferral of academic degrees is a critical responsibility, the accomplishment of which signifies that degree recipients have successfully completed a sufficiently rigorous and enlightening curriculum of courses that provides appropriate preparation to assume roles of contribution, responsibility, and leadership that advance our society. The faculty of Purdue University Northwest has evaluated the academic accomplishments of the candidates presented here today and concluded that, pending the completion of any final outstanding requirements, each of these candidates meets the criteria for receiving a degree. Based on that conclusion, the faculty recommend to the Purdue Board of Trustees that appropriate degrees be conferred. We have assembled here to celebrate that conferral.
Professor Joy Colwell, Director of Graduate Studies, will present the candidates for the master's degree.
Good afternoon. Will the candidates for the master's degree please stand? These students have successfully fulfilled the requirements for the master's degree. Each wears a hood, recognizing his or her academic discipline and symbolizing the completion of the advanced degree. With approval of the faculty, they are now presented to receive their degrees.
We are honored that Trustee DeKruiger, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, is here today to confer the degrees. Trustee DeKruiger, please join me at the podium.
Observing the respected custom of institutions of higher learning and exercising the authority of the Purdue University Board of Trustees, legally vested by the people of the state of Indiana, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I now confer upon you who have fulfilled the requirements the master's degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. I also solemnly place upon you those obligations which you must henceforth assume as holders of the master's degree. As evidence of your ability to fulfill the requirements and obligations of this degree, you will now receive your diploma.
Will Candidate Marshal Mr. Roy Hamilton please escort the candidates for graduate degrees forward to receive their diplomas? As the candidates make their way to the stage, please note they will be crossing in a random order. Donald Lawson. Jonathan Barfell. Randall Spence. Christine Rumbaugh. Pam Kelly. Lisa Taylor. Angela Collegier. Lindsay Dakey. Wael El-Bahiri. Justin Frey. Gail O'Connor. James Petner.
Congratulations, master's degree graduates.
Dr. Ralph Mueller, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and Provost, will now recognize distinguished undergraduate students.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with joy and privilege to provide special recognition to those individuals receiving baccalaureate degrees who have demonstrated outstanding scholastic achievement. The commencement booklet contains a statement on the basis of which the status of distinction and highest distinction is determined. Candidates wearing black and gold cords symbolize this achievement. I invite baccalaureate degree candidates who are graduating with highest distinction to please stand and remain standing. I invite candidates for the baccalaureate degrees who are graduating with distinction to please stand and remain standing. On behalf of the Purdue trustees and the faculty of Purdue University Northwest, I congratulate you on your outstanding academic records. May you continue to be motivated by excellence and high standards in your quest to make positive contributions throughout your life. Congratulations again. You may be seated. I now introduce the Dean of Purdue University Northwest Honors College, John Rowan, who will recognize candidates of the Honors College.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to recognize the graduates of the Honors College, and I invite the Honors College candidates to please stand and remain standing. These students have fulfilled the graduation requirements of the Honors College, including the academic curriculum and related coursework, substantive research in their areas of discipline, service engagement with the local community, and leadership experience across a range of diverse areas. These students have received and are wearing the Honors College medallions on gold and black ribbons. I invite the Honors College candidates to be seated.
At this time, I'm pleased to facilitate recognition of those individuals who have qualified to receive the Purdue University Northwest Chancellor's Medallion. The Chancellor's Medallion is presented to the graduating students who have achieved the highest grade point average within each of the academic colleges of Purdue University Northwest. And now invite Jeffrey Bonesteel of the College of Technology to please come to the stage. And I also invite Jeffrey's family members to stand and share in this recognition. Congratulations, Jeffrey. Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Jane Muchler to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Business.
I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees and associate degrees from the College of Business. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Chris Holford to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Engineering and Sciences.
Provost Mueller, I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Engineering and Sciences. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Interim Dean Ron Kerthel to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences.
I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Lisa Hopp to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Nursing.
I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for the baccalaureate degree in the College of Nursing. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Niaz Latif to present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees in the College of Technology.
I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Technology. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Before I present you for the formal awarding of degrees, I will charge each of you in my capacity as Purdue University Northwest's Chief Academic Officer. Today is Commencement Day. As the word commence indicates, this is time of beginnings, not ends. a beginning of a journey to find your individual future. During the past few years, we have grown very fond and very proud of you. So I will convey my charge through 3 distinct observations about you. Our first observation, innovation, is about your past, about your eagerness and readiness to innovate. You arrived on campus a few short years ago, the very beginning of what then seemed so far away. Today, beginnings day. You came ready to learn about thinking, about listening, about speaking, about doing. But also you were ready to explore others' points of view, others' ways of life, and others' explanations of what you had assumed were universal truths. All led to the one goal, the one we're here to mark and celebrate today, to begin your future. Along your path at PNW, you learn to grow, to become an innovator of what will become your own individual future. And this brings me to our second observation about you, impact. And it is about the future, your maturity as learned citizens to impact others to bring about change. You prepared well for the day when you are ready to leave your mark. All the academic work is no good if it does not touch people. Children who need to be taught, patients who need your care, colleagues who need your advice, or neighbors who just need you need a little help. With your dedication, with your drive to make the world a better place, you will make academic knowledge have an impact on our constituent communities. One child, one patient, one colleague, one neighbor at a time. So where then does your past, your eagerness to innovate, meet your future, your commitment to impact others? Well, they meet right here, in the present, at this very moment. And this then is our third and final observation about you. You continue to improve. While you were a student at Purdue University Northwest, I hope we opened some doors for you, doors into your future, for you to walk through and innovate and impact and improve. So here then is my simple charge to you. When you see those open doors, explore what lies beyond. Right now, in the present, be innovative in choosing your own future. Have the courage to walk through one of those doors. Walk through and find yourself. And it is okay, too, to turn around and walk back out and check out another door, another future. But ultimately, do walk through one of the open doors. And as you do, if you see someone else behind you who needs a little extra encouragement, a little extra help to walk through that door, make an impact by engaging them to join you. Guide them through that door towards your connected and collective journeys to continuously improve yourselves and the world around you. Innovate, impact, improve. 3 words that guide your future. They define this beginnings day, and they are my charge to you. Please know that we are proud of you. Please know that we are proud of those who made all of this happen for you. But also know that we know that you should be very proud of yourselves. You did it. I wish you well, I congratulate you, and I salute you. Chancellor Keon, these students have successfully fulfilled the requirements for undergraduate curricula in their respective colleges. Having gained approval for graduation by the college faculties, I now present them to you to award their degrees. I now invite Trustee McCriger back to the podium to confer the degrees.
A observing the respected custom of institutions of higher learning and exercising the authority of the Purdue University Board of Trustees, legally vested by the people of the state of Indiana, and acting on behalf of the faculty of this institution, I now confer upon you who have fulfilled the requirements the appropriate baccalaureate degree with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. I also solemnly place on you those obligations which you must henceforth assume as holders of this degree. As evidence of your ability to fulfill the requirements and obligation of this degree, you will now receive your diplomas.
Will the college marshals now escort the baccalaureate degree graduates forward for their diplomas? Graduates, please be seated until your row is called.
The graduates of the College of Business, escorted by candidate marshal Ms. Kathleen Johnson. Amber Terry. Austin McNeil. Miranda Richard. Michelle Galvin. Carla Prado. Michael Mishke. Ryan Simpson. Adrian Aguirre. Haley Nepsha. Mark Josatis. Jason Metz. Alex Sturdy. Garrett Walter. Michael Morgan. Nicholas Larocco. Kevin Land. Tyler Bailey. Jonathan Chico. Audrey Headley. Christopher Lawrence. Jennifer Ross. Mary Ann Lester. Jocelyn Sloan. Brandy Stroh. Keenan Scotchfield. Aaron Allshouse. Brandon Wozniak. Sarah Combs. Brandon Martin. J.R. Williams. Nicholas Stack. Matthew Polito. Garrett Short. Michael Hagedis. Kevin Vickers. Mark Cook. Hans Seefeld. Kendall Cooley. Ayana Campbell Nimrod. Timothy Compton. Rajiv Popley. Sally Daisy. Hannah Keene. Anthony Sitar. Megan Major. Amanda Brooks. Christopher Saulnier. Kalina Sikorsky. Morgan Canola. Richard Trimble. Marcy Stiegel. Lavinna Ilgen. Erica Gravenstuck. The graduates of the College of Business. The graduates of the College of Engineering and Sciences, escorted by candidate Marshal Mr. J.C. White. Sean Durr. Kenneth Cordova. Trevor Adkins. Tori Keeper. Jonathan Shaw. Travis Bavar. Timur Kamar. Carol Page. Anthony Sloan. William Mish. Adam Schilling. Vanessa Rivera. Nicholas Chimmet. William Wilkinson. Thomas Fout. Jacob Pierce. Joel Poling. Cody Connor. Corey Connor. Tyler Dolezal. Melissa Cowan. Ryan Kelly. Bradley Kreis. Luke Fredenberg. Megan Grislack. Sarah Matz. Ashley Principe. John Downing. Jonathan Fabian. Jordan Margraff. Alexandra Allen. Caitlin Malone. Haley Welp. Nicole Lane. Samantha Nance. Rochelle Kaiser. Hannah Lawrence. Anna Zapay. Rachel Cunnan. Danielle Sapowski. Danielle Simkowski. Brittany Nida. Ashley Reed. Caitlin Myers. Maria Alejandra Gomez. Allison Myers. Cherie Paul Waldo. Nathaniel Allen Womack. The graduates of the College of Engineering and Sciences. The graduates of the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences, escorted by Candidate Marshal Ms. Amy Grossman. Luis Martinez. Samantha Sebeski. Alexis Solner. Caitlin Sheffer. Arminda Anguiano. Devin Wells. Chanel Valentine. Andrew Kovaric, Jr. Cameron Sharp. Christina Walton. Sarah Gowell. Taylor Wall. Hayat Dakey. Linda Matz. Lindsay Swanson. Emma Manns. Miranda Retzlaff. Amanda Hurley. Jason Hogue. Tyler Singleton. Elliot Code. Nicole Medico. Ashley Schultz. Bianca Salgado. Jeffrey Russell. Angela Wells. Rachel Thomas. Ashley Casselaire. Jensen Burke. Rayanne Salt. Lana Barker. Kathleen Green. Kelly Raymer. Sean Glassford. Stephanie Hostetler. Cheyenne Grisham. Kelly Smith. Sarah Fields Shrewsbury. Luke Faith. Andrew Holt. Ellis Sweeney. Casey Rabine. Rachel Welch. Kayla Shifley. Stephanie Terravecchia. Daniel Draculich. Rainey Chancellor. Taylor Sass. Samantha Cohen. Tammy Rosebaum. Sarah Bays. Michelle Edwards. Nicole Nava. Rachel Morton. Catherine Ford. Melissa Duval. Selena Sanchez. Jessica Streeter. Michael Grimberg. Jamie Snyder. Eric Stallworth. Shelby Clendaniel. Sarah Joy. Jacqueline Bicel. Sarah Maddox. Caitlin Heslin. Brittany Johnson. Tabitha Oldenburg. Tuesday Raymer. Jennifer Davis. Elizabeth Barnes. Olojake Rayla Tuju. Haley Louise Miller Potts. Caroline Brown. Katerina Scherer Jones. Crystal Keel. Michael Cleary. Maria Elena Miller. Zachary Malser. Sharon Coleman. Olivia Forrester. Morgan Bradley. Jordan Hancock. Cyril Clark Lewis. Brian Matthews. Sarah Redden. Trinice Davis. Clarence Health. Paula West. Sarah Sparks. Danielle Nix. Victoria Gagnet. Allie Balmer. Kendra Burke. Mitchell Weisjohn. Caitlin Snyder. The graduates of the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences. The graduates of the College of Nursing, escorted by candidate Marshal Ms. Christy Livergood. Lupita Cabrera. Samantha Carter Brooks. Amanda Buddy. Sarah Quell. Sarah Jakovich. Rachel Garwood. Elizabeth Spoljorek. Samantha Salmi. Hallie Charleboy. Alyssa Hellworth. Peyton Hulse. Lana Glorioso. Michaela Reyes. Tiffany Wolazin. Benjamin Tarno. Kevin Owens. Kamala Fleming. Lindsay Manns. Ashley Wojcik. Myra Cruz Cody. Brittany Kubicki. Cherie Novak. Deborah Ward. Jessica Quinton. Mary Sawyer. Aaron Sims. Heather Evans. The graduates of the College of Nursing. The graduates of the College of Technology, escorted by candidate Marshal Ms. Amy Bishop. Jeffrey Bonesteel. Matthew Osborne. Gabriel Underwood. Lucas Laney. Santiago Fuentes. Benjamin Brubaker. Jesse Godinez. Danzo Totano. Matthew Martin. Michael Osmus. Jeffrey Sattler. Eric Premel. Zachary Buckwalter. Vincent Milton. Cody Fletcher. Justin Reynolds. Kyle Sweeney. Mitchell Kobitz. John Pursley. Jermaine Payne. Carl Posey. Michael Kleist. Stephen Caputo. Adam Sheeta.
To signify the completion of your degree requirements and receipt of your diploma, I now invite all graduates to move the tassels on their mortarboards to the left side. Congratulations, you are now Purdue Northwest graduates! To officially welcome you to the Purdue alumni contingent, comprised of 60,000, I invite Ms. Catherine Eaton, President of Purdue Northwest Alumni Association, to the podium.
Thank you, Chancellor Keon. I'll just start by saying how proud I am of you today. Congratulations, graduates. Or should I say, my fellow alumni. Your graduation day is not a conclusion, but a transition into the Purdue University Northwest alumni community. You are official graduates of Purdue Northwest. As graduates, you are now in a community with members that have paved the way in leading research, that are corporate executives, Emmy Award winners, state representatives, journalists, authors, judges, community leaders, and so much more. It has been my honor to give back to Purdue University Northwest as the president of the Purdue Northwest Alumni Organization. Since I joined the board in 2013, and now as its first president, I have had the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of my fellow alumni and the Purdue University Northwest current students. Thurgood Marshall, the first African-American Supreme Court Justice, once stated, "None of us got to where we are solely by pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps." Somebody, a teacher, an Ivy League crony, or a few nuns bent down and helped us pick up our boots. Remember this as you reflect on your experience, the scholarship you may have received, the facilities your classes were held in, a special workshop you attended, and the faculty and the staff members who have made a difference in your experience here at Purdue University Northwest. As Purdue Northwest continues to evolve, remember that as alumni, you will help the university move forward. I ask that you stay connected to your alma mater and make a positive impact in your own and unique way. Whether you give of your time, your talent, or treasure, please take an active role as a member of the alumni organization. Helen Keller said it best, "Never bend your head, hold it high, look the world straight in the eye. You can face the future knowing you are not alone. You are part of something greater. You are alumni for life. You are Purdue University Northwest. Lastly, as each of you left the stage today, you were given a small token from the Purdue Northwest Alumni Organization. So going forward, please wear this Purdue University Northwest alumni pin with pride. And now, class of 2017, go out there and make your mark upon the world, and welcome to the Purdue alumni community. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Ladies and gentlemen, Zachary Jacobowski, Student Government President, Westville Campus, will now respond to the graduates on behalf of all Purdue Northwest students.
Hello, graduates, staff, faculty, and distinguished guests. I'm sure I speak for all students when I say congratulations on this big accomplishment in your life. I'm going to talk about something that is a little bit of a cliche. I'm going to talk about success and how it affects me as one of you. I'm 24 years old, and I envy you, for you have walked across the stage and achieved a degree that I still have yet to get. I hope that one day I will be able to do the same and walk in your footsteps. And I'm sure all students look up to you right now at this moment. When I talk about success, I'm sure you guys have all heard Facebook videos, YouTube videos of commencement ceremonies and people going out there and talking about what success means. People that have made it to the top, people that have bounced back. Well, this is a story of me, a 24-year-old who, when he was younger, had an aspiration and a life goal to serve his country as a United States Marine. Before I got the chance to do that, I was diagnosed with Lyme's disease, and that door quickly shut. I was broken. At 19 years old, I had lost all hope, and whatever I wanted to do was crushed. It destroyed me. It was a buddy of mine who came up to me and said, you know what, you need to do something just as dangerous. And he introduced me to the rodeo. See, in the rodeo, I learned a very crucial lesson. A lesson that a lot of people learn when you ride a bike. No matter how many times you fall, you gotta get back up and ride again. You have to. You cannot let any tiny defeat you completely and internally. I wanted to speak on this mostly for the reason of I am, or I was, one of you, or still am. And someone whose life has changed in a second can still look into this room and have hope that every single one of you will change the world in a miraculous way. Whether it be small with raising a family, or whether it be large by doing something in your field. See, I lived by a quote by General George Patton. And it says, "A measure of a man's success is not how high he climbs, but it's how high he bounces when he hits bottom." That has always allowed me to hold my head high in controversy and challenges. See, success for you guys is the fact that we've made it through another semester, and for you, it was your last. Sleepless nights of studying, single moms who have to juggle a family on top of all of this, maintain a 40-an-hour-week job, doing night classes, doing whatever it takes in order to get through. That's the life of a student. And if we do not look at every single semester that we've passed by as a success, then we cannot look towards the future and expect success. See, we even have to look at the fact that we're not the only ones who have to challenge with what is known as success. You have distinguished faculty and staff that have to, a family at home, and everybody else looking towards them, and for some reason they decide to teach and take 50 students with 10-page papers and still get them in on time. And for that, all students look at you guys as being remarkable individuals. In my December speech, I shared a quote, and it was a quote that struck a lot of graduates, and I want to share it with you again. It was a quote from Winston Churchill. It said, "You make a living out of what you get. You make a life out of what you give." See, your degree is going to give you something that you're going to make a living at. But you make a life off of what you do with that degree. How do you give back with that degree? I want to end just by saying another congratulations and how honored I am to have served as your student government president the last year of your guys' college career. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Zachary. Well, we're about to draw to the end, but before we finish completely, I just wanted to say a couple of things to you. One of the things that is important to me is to always have graduates on stage. Whenever possible, I try my best to have our graduation speaker be a graduate of the university, and I introduced our alumni chapter to this graduation ceremony. And I did that with great purpose. I did that so that all of you sitting there could sit and hopefully say, one day it will be my turn to be on stage. My turn to be on stage as the graduation speaker because of all of what I have done, all of what I have achieved, all of what I could be as an individual. But I also ask you to make sure that you give back. It's not enough to just achieve yourself. You need to give back to your town, to your county, to your state, to your country, and to the world. Make sure as you live a full life, you make time to give back. And then finally, I want you to all remember that you are part of Purdue University Northwest. Some of you will leave and may never come back again. Some of you may be here tomorrow and through years to come. But for all of you, I urge you to stay attached to the university. We can only grow as a university through you, and having you there to support us and for us to support you is most important. So please remember, work hard for yourself, work hard for your community, and work hard for your university. Congratulations once again to the graduates of Purdue University Northwest Spring Class 2017, as well as your families. There will be an informal reception for graduates and guests immediately following this ceremony in Great Hall, located within this facility. I hope you will attend. I ask you to remain seated while the platform party and the faculty recess. Ladies and gentlemen, the second commencement exercise of Purdue University Northwest is now concluded.